Today we're going to go through a full guide to Liberty Falls, including strategy, how to get set up super quick and survive into those later rounds and exfil successfully. And then also we're going to talk about how to make the zombies dance like you see here, make zombies fall from the sky, and how to become Aetherella herself within the map. So if you're interested in more things like this, be sure to hit that sub button and let's hop right in. First, we'll talk strategy. Personally, I turn on the Rampage Inducer, which is just right here when you spawn in, and I leave that on till around round 5. If you don't know, this basically makes zombies spawn in super fast and they'll be sprinting like in later rounds, but they will still have that same amount of health. So if you can deal with the faster pace, it's a great time saver to set up that much quicker. As you survive and spawn, you can come over to this vending machine here and punch it to get a random reward, and this can be done each round. You can get things like salvage, points, and even a ray gun. As you can see in my game, it's being a bit stingy with just a few bags of chips, which are useless, but I do get some points later on. After that, this is really personal preference, but I take the right side of the map towards the church and Pack-a-Punch. On your way, be sure to pick up this water valve that will be needed later on to craft you a free jet gun. You should make it to the church pretty quickly, and I personally recommend saving up your salvage and doing this next Easter egg rather than upgrading your weapon rarity yourself. If you throw an explosive at this zombie head just here on the church and get it just right, a ton of falling zombie corpses will start raining down from the sky, giving you all types of loot, including points, salvage, score streaks, and even weapons upgrades. This should get your gun at least to green rarity every time, so you may as well save that salvage. Also, in the graveyard, there is a free Deadshot perk Easter egg, so make sure to do that as well, and I'll be telling you later about that one. After that, you should have almost enough points to open the church door and to Pack-a-Punch, so you could have a blue Pack-a-Punch weapon on round 7 like I do in my game here. From there, point hoarding should be super simple, and I recommend stacking up on perks, armor tier 2, and getting your second Pack-a-Punch tier by using this training spot outside the bowling alley. It's super open and makes the zombies and all the millions of mini bosses that spawn pretty easy to handle. This strategy works great even into the higher rounds all the way until exfil. Speaking of exfil, it's very hard this year if you don't know what you're doing, but thankfully there are ways to fix that. Just make sure before you exfil that you buy a chopper gunner or a mutant injection and you should be good to go. You need to eliminate enough zombies within a set time, and with those score streaks it should be super simple. That's really it for the strategy on Liberty Falls. It's a pretty easy to understand map for the most part, and hopefully that'll help you get set up quick and easy. As for Easter eggs, this map is packed full of them. First, let's start with the free jet gun upgrade, which will be needed for a few things later on, including the main Easter egg. As I said earlier, be sure to pick up the water valve just here on the map, and after that, bring it to the bowling alley and look for this panel on the wall. Punch it off and place your valve. Now, you'll have to hold the interact button on this valve for a very long time, which can be challenging in solo. As you hold it, extra zombies will spawn in, so just waiting for the round to end won't do the trick. There are a few ways to go about this. You can use monkeys, decoys, ether shroud, and smokes or concussions to all distract the zombies for a bit, and you can work towards your progress. The meter goes down pretty slow when you hop off of it, so don't worry about letting go if you're about to go down. If you don't have any of those equipment, training around the room and then leading your horde outside while you sprint back in can do the trick. It just may take a while. After that's done, a part will pop out and be sure to pick it up. Next, you're going to head over to the cemetery just outside the church, and you're looking for a special zombie called the Groundskeeper, which when you kill him, he will drop a key. After you pick that key up, run it over to this shed and pick up the part inside. Now finally, you're going to need a Mangler cannon or mutant injection to blow open a door. So this is super helpful combined with the falling bodies Easter egg we mentioned earlier, so you can save up on that salvage. Once you blow open the door, search through these piles on the ground for another part. Be careful because these can spawn vermin, so don't get jump scared. That should be the last part needed, so now you'll just head over to the hotel room and spawn. And once you come up these stairs, a ton of zombies will burst out this door, so be prepared, but the room they come out of does include the jet gun buildable table. Be careful as there is only one way out of this room, so make sure you're prepared. After that, your jet gun should be ready to go. I will quickly mention this one again if you skipped ahead. There's a super useful Easter egg at the church where if you throw an explosive at this zombie head just here, it will blow up and cause several zombies to fall from the sky, giving you some great loot. Also, quickly, just for those that skipped ahead, punching this vending machine and spawn gives free loot, and if you have melee macchiato, it will give bigger rewards, but only once, as you will break the vending machine if you have that perk. So back to the eggs we haven't talked about. There are several free power-up Easter eggs across the map that can be useful while setting up. First, just outside this comic store on the window here, if you shoot this little symbol, it will give you a free power-up. Next, in the bank on this chandelier, if you throw an explosive at it, it will spawn a nuke. And then finally, just behind this church, there is another floating head that if you shoot it, it will spawn a free power-up. The classic music Easter egg is back, and it's a pretty great song in my opinion. So you're going to want to be looking for 3 sets of headphones, which are just here in the church, then right here between spawn and the bowling alley, and finally right here on this bench. As I mentioned earlier, there is a free Deadshot Daiquiri perk Easter egg. So it's just here in the graveyard by the church, and you may want to buy a sniper rifle or something with a scope on it for this because it is a little hard to see, but there are 5 cans on this fence and you're going to have to shoot them all in succession without missing a single shot. So you can't step away and shoot at other zombies or anything. It will fail and you won't be able to do it again. So you're going to have to make sure, I would do it at the end of a round, and make sure you have a gun that's going to make it easy for you to hit all those 5 shots in a row, and you will get Deadshot for free every time if you complete this correctly. Next, a couple of fun Easter eggs. First, you can actually go bowling in the map. You're going to be looking for 5 pairs of bowling shoes, which we'll be going through right now. First is in this spawn window, then in this window by where you should be training. Next, on this tree by the church. Then in this window, and finally in this window by the small house on the main street. Shooting all 5 will take you into the bowling Easter egg where you can shoot bowling balls at the zombies, and after completing the minigame, I believe the rewards are based on how many zombies you kill, but maybe they're based on how many pins you knock down. I'm not really sure, so let me know what you guys think in the comments. You can re-enter this later by shooting another pair of bowling shoes in one of the bowling alley windows, and you will get rewards again. You can make zombies dance around, including manglers, by coming over here by this mystery box location and pointing these 2 viewfinders at a dancing zombie up here on the cliff. I don't think there are any rewards involved in this, but it is a fun little Easter egg. And by the way, abominations can't dance, so be careful if you do have one spawned in, as it will still attack you. Next, we're going to talk about what to do with all those loot keys you find lying around. So there is a vault within the bank that you need a 6-digit code to open, which will have lockboxes inside with loot that can be opened with those keys. The first piece of the code is in the bank, then the next one is in the comic store, and finally the last is in the bowling alley, which you will have to shoot this off the top to be able to see that one. Put that code together and you should have access to the vault. Once inside, it can give some great rewards, so this is definitely worth doing. Next, there are some special cars around the map. I believe there are 3 in total, which look a little different than the rest. Make sure to not blow up these cars until later on when you get a mangler cannon, and then look in the back seat for Mr. Peaks in one of those 3 cars and blow it up with the mangler cannon for some nice rewards. It does have a chance of giving you the ray gun, so it's definitely worth trying out. As promised, we're finally getting to how to become Aetherella herself within Liberty Falls. First, you do need the jet gun to suck some stuff, so make sure you have that crafted. Then you're looking for 9 different statues scattered throughout the map. There are 4 in the comic store, so you can kind of just walk around sucking and they'll float towards you. One is just here on top of this AC unit, one is here on top of the Liberty Lane sign, one is here in the church window, and then one is on top of this hotel sign, and the last one is on top of this roof by the bank in this AC unit. So make sure you can see this statue. The angle is a little bit finicky. After picking up that last statue, you transform into Aetherella and can shoot her rays for honestly a really long time. She is super powerful and fun to play as, so this one is definitely one everyone should try out. Well, that's all I have for you guys, so I hope this was helpful, and thanks everyone for watching.